Hi, this is Art from Scrappy Mania, and today I'm going to create another layout using the leftover pieces from the papers, the K& Company papers called Jubilee. And if you saw my video prior to this, I did create a layout using these papers, and these are the scraps, so I want to go ahead and finish the pieces left over from that scrap. I'll also show you how to create the bow, so I want to incorporate the bow in this layout. And I'm also incorporating a lot of the other tutorials that I have shown you how to create the clay pieces with your stamp. So I'm going to put that there, and also I'm going to put another clay piece that I created using my stamp. And this is my air dry clay from Martha Stewart. And the doilies that you see here, so here's a doily that I created, and this is a doily that I created using a simple circle and the Martha Stewart Chrono Punch. Now, one of my subscribers alerted me to the YouTube channel Veronica Chambers, and she does an excellent job in showing you how to use your pumps to create a perfect doily. And she also show you how to do it with a grid. So in order to get the perfect measurements so your doily will be perfectly around, she downloaded this graph, and she used it in order to make her markings for her punch out. So she'll take a piece of paper, she'll measure it and make sure so she used this to measure it, and notice that I put the tip of the longest part of my punch the tip of that goes on the line, the exact line of one of these spokes. And then I kind of measure. So I kind of measure from side to side so that way it's even. And I see that it's going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 spokes. So then I go ahead and make a line, and then I count 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Now I'll put the tutorial of Veronica Chambers so that way you can see exactly how she does it, because she does an excellent job in showing you what her technique is. So then what I do is I just put my punch align it right to the top of the longest width of my punch, and then punch down. And then I go to the next spoke that you see there, the next measurement. And I do the same thing. I align it so that way it's right on the middle of my punch. And then I go and do the same thing on the other side. And see how it's perfect all around. And then you have the option to either pull these off if you want, or you can leave it on like I did with this one. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link of the Veronica Chambers of her video and how she shows you how to use your Martha Stewart punch in order to create doilies. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Now this little piece that you see here was actually created with a doily die that I bought, and I used to use tissue paper to give it that delicate, whimsy kind of look. Okay. So I'm going to get started. I hope you like the tutorial. Now let's go ahead and start. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and distress the edges. So I'm just using this foot fowler. I purchased this some time ago at the dollar store, and I really like it when I just want to give it a little bit of distressing, but not a lot. And it also helps me get rid of, sometimes I use it when I do use a stronger distressing tool. It leaves a lot of paper fuzz on my paper. So I use it to kind of take that fuzz off the paper. So I really like it. Now I decided just to put a little bit of inking on just this one layer, because I felt like it was getting lost against the background. So I already kind of off camera arranged my pictures and embellishments right there on the lower left hand side of my frame. And sometimes I like doing that, like arranging everything as one unit, because that way I can kind of move the whole unit around my page and make sure I get the right area that I want it. I found a peacock collection at yesterday at one of my local Tuesday morning. So I purchased it, the up and the lowercase, and here I'm just, this is the first time I try it out, and you'll see in a second that I kind of pounded too much on this paper because I'm actually just using cardstock paper, that not chipboard. And I made a mistake thinking that I had chipboard, and what I did is I pounded it too much that it actually cut the letter out of my embellishment. Luckily, I had another piece, so now I'm just pounding it, not that hard. Now I'm trying to get used to it, so it only takes me a couple of times of trial and error to kind of get used to how the punch works. So now you'll see here the trick for this, since I do not have card chipboard and I'm using it just with a 2-layer of cardstock, is not to pound it as hard as you see in the video. You want to go ahead and ink it up very well, like I'm doing there, because I'm kind of doing like a letterpress motif on here. And then you want to see the last one, as I was getting used to the punch, the last one really came out very nice. And then you don't want to put a lot of water on your paper, because you do need a little bit of moisture to kind of help loosen the fibers of your paper in order for the press to work better. But you don't want to soak it up. And I think that's my problem. I really put a lot of water on the first time when I did it. Now I'm ready to assemble my page. So here I am going to drape that banner on the upper left hand side. Now it was a little mistake. I should have put in the mat before I glue all my pieces down, but that's okay. That's easy to fix. I just peeled off the S and the E, and then I put some foam adhesive in the back because it wasn't laying flat once I put my mat underneath it. So the foam adhesive helped it so that way it'll be at the same level as my mat. So I'm just peeling the foam adhesive from the back. And I'm just decided, and after I kind of put the banner there, it kind of needed something. So I do have a video how I created these clay pieces using my cold porcelain. And I wanted to put Rose because the name of my niece is called Rosie. So that's why I wanted to kind of put some rose around the title of the page. And again, these are embellishments that I created in a previous video using my cold porcelain. So the roses were used with cold porcelain, and the leaves were with Martha Stewart clay. I mixed some clay together in order to get that green color. And then I'm ready to just lay. Now when you use these embellishments that have a little bit of dimension, hot glue is the best thing to use in order to make sure these adhere well on your page. And that particular piece, one of the petals of the rose fell off, but that's okay because I just pulled it off and then just glue the rest of the rose down. So it was no biggie. So I'm just kind of putting a little more stickers around, a little bit of embellishments, and I'm almost done with my page, but I felt like it needed something. It was kind of plain, so I decided to put some outline on the edges of my solid cardstock. And you'll see it in a moment. So I'm just putting one stripe down and then the next one. And because it was an afterthought, these stripes, I was having a little difficulty kind of using my pen, and then to go underneath all the embellishments that are already placed on the page. So you just gotta be a little creative when that happens. And I was having trouble also, see there, I was kind of having trouble to be able to go underneath those embellishments. And also my pen wasn't that cooperating that well either. But finally I was able to do what I wanted to do. And I think that's it. So here's my layout. So I hope you like this video process, and thank you for watching. Bye now.